My name's Neil McInnes. I'm the Managing Director of Umega. We are a residential property services company based in Edinburgh and East Lothian. We've been in business for 18 years. We're turning over just over 5 million a year. We've got a staff of 70. We've been working with Stuart and the team at Russell & Russell for I think 5 years now, and it's just been a great few years. I think a good place to start would be talking about where we were, what our relationship was like with our accountants before that. So we spent a few years, we'd gone through a few of the big corporate accountancy firms actually, and we'd been with our previous accountants for 3 or 4 years before that, and we were pretty frustrated with them, to be honest. They didn't feel like they had a direct connection to our business. I don't think they really knew what we were all about and who we were. That came out in ways of just trying to get advice out of them or simple answers. It would have to go around different departments, and we'd get passed internally from one team to another when we were looking for what we felt was pretty simple answers on stuff. So they were slow, they were pretty expensive, and they were frustrating for us to work with. So about 5 years ago, this was in the middle of COVID, I remember having a phone call with Stuart just because our frustrations had kind of grown with our sort of corporate accountants at the time. And I had a really interesting conversation with Stuart on the phone. Stuart's is a pretty lively guy. He's a good guy to talk with. And we had a really good chat about potentially working together and why Russell & Russell might be a really good fit for Umega. And I discussed something I was struggling with at the time, just relating to our cash management. And lo and behold, the next day, what dropped through the letterbox of my door was this book that Stuart had found that he thought might help, and it did. It was really good, and we weren't working together at that point. But that's what I've learned about Stuart over the years: is the guy loves to gift the book, but they're always great reads and really kind of heartfelt recommendations. So that really set the tone for working with Russell & Russell. We switched over and started to work with them pretty soon after that. And since then, it's really been night and day, and they've been an absolute joy to work with. They're like an extension of our team. It never feels like anything is too silly a question for them or too outlandish an idea. They've always got time to bounce stuff off us. And certainly at that idea stage, they're happy to explore and kick ideas around without having to go away and get advice from various different departments, which was what our experience was previously. And we're quite an entrepreneurial business, so that suits us down to the ground. We even use Slack, the internal communication tool, and we actually work with Stuart and the team through our Slack rather than sending emails and stuff. That's how we communicate. That's very much the culture of our business. So Russell & Russell have just fitted right in. I think any business who's switching away from a big corporate accountancy firm where they're often perceived as being less risky or that's a safe option, I just think that's nonsense. I think for a small business like ours, working with a firm like Russell & Russell has just been a breath of fresh air, and I can't thank those guys enough. They continue to work with us every month, if not every week. We're going back and forward with Stuart and the team about something or another, and it's really positive exchanges. I look forward to to working with them and meeting with them when we do. So I just want to thank those guys for everything they've done, and look forward to many more years of working with them.